I have two memories I'd love to share. The first is from Woofer, especially our last Woofer in Thailand. I love responding to you when you are the fake patient because you make me laugh and you teach me so much because you take the job so seriously. It's so awesome.
How you doing? Two favorite memories of your 10 years in Rustic. Well, I would say I'm going to look at the two extremes here. The first one, as you were entering Rustic, I remember in New York City, falling asleep on the subway, getting to your mother's place, to your parents' place, and eating fried chicken and talking over the possibilities for you to work for Rustic. Me giving you hopes and you believing in my speech has brought you to 10 years in Rustic. So I'm proud to say, in that cold New York evening, we had that conversation and that you listened to me and you kept on going, and Rustic's that much richer today in spirit, in awesomeness. Rustic has an amazing human being with you, Harry. And then the other favorite one would be probably to see you to go from that evening, the sort of in between whether or not you should go back to medical school or keep waiting if Rustic may hire you, to working for you in the DR. Not a full summer, but I've been there a couple of times now, and watching you, what you've become, the leader you've become, is quite awesome. So love you, man. All the best, and here's to another 10 years at Rustic for you. Cheers.
Harry, I have so many memories, awesome memories with you. Probably the best memory that I have, and probably one of the best memories in my life, is having the opportunity and honor to marry you and Lauren. That is something that I will always remember and cherish. And it's one of the coolest things that I've ever done. So many memories. Like, I remember when I drove to New York with Lauren and you met, and that's also something that I had forgotten, but Lauren kind of reminded us. And then all the adventures that we've had in Panama and in Costa Rica, and traveling together, and then working together in Rustic Pathways and dealing with so many situations, and you always have the ability to stay tranquilo and have a smile and a big hug, and especially lately, you've become such a wise old man. Man, I really appreciate your advice and counsel, and I'm looking forward to spending more years together. I love you. You're very special to me, and congratulations on your 10th year anniversary with Rustic.
Whenever I think of the term Rustic legend, Harry is someone that always pops into my head. 10 years with Rustic, holy stinking moly, quite an accomplishment. Harry, from my first day on the job full-time in a freezing cold garage in Ohio in the middle of winter for one of our last all-company winter summits, I remember your warmth and smiling face. I absolutely love how caring you are as a person, not only professionally, but personally as well. And back in those early days when I was kind of transitioning through positions and moving into the country director role, you definitely were a mentor for me, giving me the confidence and great advice moving into that position. You have a huge heart, you're so full of passion, and I've definitely always looked up to you for all of that. My favorite memory with Harry, oh goodness, I'm not sure if this is HR appropriate, so sorry in advance, Megan, please forgive me. But the Mr. Harry Alvarez is actually someone who took me to my first strip club experience. It was the true one night only in NOLA, had to see it all or else I couldn't leave. So great, hilarious night, but that is a memory that will definitely go down in history for my life memories. So Harry, I love you, man, and here's to 10 plus more.
So my favorite thing about you is that you like food, and that was like very first day of training with my own board when we went to get Alvarez at a local Enduring grocery store in New Orleans, and that was like the best way to work. So that's great to share that. And my favorite memory is being in one of the jazz clubs in New Orleans and seeing you having such a blast with the jazz band. I think it was Rebirth, and you were like pumping, and you kept screaming and shouting, "Who dat? Who dat?" So that was really good. It was a great night, and I hope you continue working hard. 10 more years in Rustic. Bye-bye.
Harry, congratulations on 10 years with Rustic Pathways. It's quite an accomplishment. I wouldn't even be at this company if it weren't for you. So thank you so much for hiring me in the Dominican Republic all those years ago and giving me my very first chance. It is a summer that was very special to me and still holds a very important place in my heart. I learned so much that summer. I grew so much, and wouldn't have been possible except for you. So thank you. It's been incredible to see how you've grown the team down there, grown all the operations, not just in the Dominican Republic, but throughout the entire Caribbean. And I'm so proud of all that you've done. It's really inspiring to see. You have given me a ton of really great professional advice over the years, as well as some good personal advice. So thank you so much. It's been wonderful to see you grow your career and also your family, whom I love very much. You are an inspiration. You bring so much passion into what you do, and definitely one of the people I turn to when I need a little bit more inspiration on some of those tough days. So thank you so much. I hope that we get to work together for another 10 years, and congratulations.
Hey Harry, congratulations on a full decade with Rustic Pathways. That's quite the milestone. I've always been impressed with your commitment and dedication to Rustic both day and night, and particularly when we've had to deal with challenging situations, and we've had a couple of those. Aside from road travel together and the many laughs that we've shared, two stories stand out to me in particular. The first was when I started with Rustic Pathways, and I made my rounds talking to all country directors, and we had to schedule our conversation after hours in the early evening. Midway through our conversation, we talked for about an hour, but midway through our conversation, you reached behind your computer and pulled out a beer and had a sip and put it back, and I knew right away you're my kind of guy. The second is just out of gratitude. My first SLC meeting combined with the Country Director Summit was in New Orleans in 2014. You and Lauren hosted Brent, Kevin, and Fuller and I to stay in your house for 2 full weeks. And I remember multiple times thinking there are not many people on the planet that are going to welcome people into their home for such a long period of time. I think it just shows a great character and who you are as a human being, and really appreciate it. So again, congratulations. Glad to have you on the team.
Congratulations on 10 years. It goes by in the blink of an eye, doesn't it? I have so many fond memories with you, from Foxrun to New Orleans and New York. The work you do in DR is truly inspirational. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm so proud to know you.
Dominicano, baby!
Someone else wants to say hi. And I just wanted to wish you the best and give you this tribute because you're an amazing person. I'm so happy to call you my friend, and congratulations.
10 years!
Getaway and CD Summit in the Dominican Republic. Mostly seeing Harry in his elements. Don Harry with his cigars. I loved watching how excited he was to share the DR with everybody, to introduce his teammates, how passionate he was. But my favorite specific moment comes one of our last nights where we had like a house party at one of these houses near the end, and we were dancing in the yard, and Harry was killing it on the dance floor. I just remember you always had to watch out for Harry. You had to keep about 3 feet of distance, because if you didn't, Harry's butt would just take you out. You gotta be aware. Gotta be aware of where Harry is on the floor. Congratulations, Harry. I'm super happy for you. 10 years, you're officially an icon at Rustic Pathways. Good for you, man. Congrats.
Hey, Harry, congrats on 10 years. It's been an awesome journey here at Rustic Pathways with you as a friend and colleague. A couple memories that stand out for me was, one of my first real nights working for Rustic Pathways in the old Red Roof Inn in Ohio, and the international management training program. We had all been hired under sort of difficult circumstances and needed to do some diplomacy between the rustic elders at the time and us young guns. And I wanted to kind of get in with the cool crowd, and you had invited me along to hang out for a late night storytelling session, and I really appreciated that opportunity. I also think about this one a lot. I think back on the getaway. Actually, it wasn't even part of the getaway. It was part of the CD Summit down in DR when we were driving after a very, very late night. Everyone was in a little bit of rough shape, and you really rallied everyone together to get out for our service day. And we were just riding on the back of those open air trucks, driving up through the mountains, absolutely stunning landscape, and just looking over and seeing you just smiling your ass off, just happy to be hosting people and showing them your country and your operation, and how powerful the service ended up being, and how cool it was to see everyone really rally around that project despite the shape that they were in. Huge tribute to you and your leadership on that one. To just so many nights in New Orleans and all around the world at this point. We've really had a pretty astounding and really fun time together. The one quality that I think you most sort of embody is being a host. You're the most hospitable person I've ever met. You make people feel welcome, and you care about their comfort, and it really opens them up to you and vice versa. And you've kind of taken that same sort of approach to the way that you've been such an active mentor at Rustic Pathways. It's amazing to see what you've done with your team, and it's shocking to think that the DR is really one of the youngest operations we have at Rustic, and now it's really sort of one of those student has become the teacher type moments where now you're exporting sort of your mentorship all over the globe, and working so much with other country directors, and really supporting the global operation and setting sort of the North Star for how we want to operate as a business. So that's been really awesome to see. And just on kind of a personal note, I also wanted to just say that it's been amazing for me to see the way that you've so kind of gracefully transitioned to be such a value-driven husband and father. It's something that I really look up to. You've done it with such kind of humility and humor, and really respect that, and appreciate our friendship. So here's to many more years at Rustic, Harry. Appreciate you.
Hi Harry, congratulations on 10 years at Rustic. I am so incredibly grateful to have you at Rustic as a manager and a friend and a role model. And I am so excited that we're celebrating 10 amazing years and celebrating all the amazing things that you've done in that time. So I have made a little list here, as I know you like, and have jotted things down because I know you like note-taking as well. But I have a little list of the things that I'm really grateful for you. So the first thing is that you gave me my first big girl job, which I know I told you over the phone when I accepted the position. I'm really, really grateful for that, because accepting a job at Rustic typically means your life is going to be changed in a really dramatic and positive way, and that it has. So I'm incredibly grateful for that. Secondly, you have the best hugs. You seem to deliver them in the moments we need them most. So I'm grateful for those. I love seeing you dance merengue, and how excited you get about that when we're out dancing, or at the quality with students. It's always a good time. Number 4, you care so much about Team Dream. You build the community, you bring us together, and you really do a lot to make us a very supportive and wonderful team to be a part of. There's a lot of pride, I think, around that as well. Number 5, you definitely challenge me to strive for excellence. You push me to be better, and at times it can feel difficult, but I'm super grateful for that. You're definitely making me a better person and manager and leader. every day that I get to work with you. Number 6, you're a great person to share a Presidente with and laugh through all the craziness that a summer can bring or craziness that any day can bring. And it's great to just relax in and have some laughs too. Also, maybe watching Modern Family and drinking Presidente. That combo is a good one. Number 7, I'm super grateful for you being this pillar of support. You always are asking how things are going and checking in, and you're always here to provide the support and resources that we all need on our team. Number 8, you are such a role model of a parent. I really admire this about you and Lauren, the way that you raise Sebastian and the patience that you have in being a dad is super admirable, and hope to be, just half a parent that you both are. Well, I definitely hope to be half a parent because together you are 2 and I am 1. Number 9, you know how to bring the fun. So you make the music louder, you have people dance more, you bring the karaoke. So lots of fun there. Okay, my last video was cut off because my storage was full. I think my phone is also telling me that I talk too much. But lastly, I wanted to talk about the awesome rides, the quality. And I know this seems silly, but I am really grateful for you bringing the fun in these, the little moments that we all have. And I remember, I think it was like sometime on the radio or somewhere where we were, I don't know where we were, in public somewhere. And Despacito, La Gozadera, and Vivir Mi Vida came on like right in a row. And you're like, this is like my playlist. They're playing all my favorite songs. And I just remember that moment so clearly. And it just reminds me how grateful I am for your positivity and like how you just love to have fun, and you bring that to all that we do. So incredibly grateful for you and for all that you're doing for Rustic, for bringing hundreds and hundreds, thousands now of students to the Dominican Republic. That's all because of you, which is incredible. So super grateful. Congratulations again on 10 years.
Hi, Senor Harry. So, what is my favorite thing about Harry? I can say that Harry is like a family with us. So Harry is like a father. He will kill me. So thank you for that. So my favorite memory with Harry, I remember last year when we finished the summer. He said so, and he told me I was waiting this moment, and because I want to say, Sam, thank you for all that. This moment was it was my great moment. So thank you for that, and thank you for teaching me. Thank you for support our family. Thank you for support this office, and I hope that we will stay for you for many years more. Thank you.
10 years. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, Harry. It has been a pleasure to watch you grow personally and professionally over the last few years, and you've welcomed me into your home, into your country, and every facet of life that I've seen you in, I have been countlessly impressed. I cannot wait to see what the next 10 years holds for you. Congrats. What up, homie? I forgot to upload my favorite memory with you. So here it is. So congratulations again on 10 years. And my favorite memory with Harry is actually when I was still a student. Harry was my program leader in the Maleku tribe. And I was 18 at the time. I had a tattoo, and I was still in that stage where I thought it was like super cool and I wanted to talk about him. So one night Harry and I were talking about my tattoo and his tattoos, and I remember Harry telling me about a tattoo he had on his leg. It is a cup of coffee and a bagel. And this tattoo was supposed to remind him that he doesn't have to have the mainstream routine. That every morning, if he had a cup of coffee and a bagel and then went to work and, do all those things, like, it doesn't have to be like that. And I remember this really sticking with me I had never met someone that I admired professionally and personally, honestly, and that was out of the typical routine. And it was the first time that this was given to me as an option. And clearly I kind of took hold of it and ran with it, because now I'm with Rustic too. But I really, really appreciated him being honest with me about that, and also opening my eyes to the fact that like everyone's success is different and their path is different, and you don't have to have the morning routine where you have a coffee and a bagel every day on your way to corporate America, or if you like that, you can. So I really, really appreciated that. I felt like Harry also had a lot of fun on that trip. I remember him running after the bus as it left Maleko. He probably cracked a beer after that and like laughed that we were gone, but he made us feel like he had a great time, that he was really gonna miss us. So Harry, I appreciate all the memories, and again, congratulations on 10 years.
10 years, I can't believe it. I feel like it was just yesterday that you and I were 22, starting our first summer in Costa Rica as program leaders, so my does the time fly. A few thank yous to mark your 10-year anniversary. One is thank you for basically getting me my full-time job. I know you definitely had a big hand in that, so thanks. Hope I made you proud. Two is a thank you for how much you care. I feel like one of the best traits about you is that you just care so much about what we're doing as a company, the other people in this company, everything that you have a hand in. It's just very obvious about how much you care. And I think it makes others care and step up their game. So never lose that. And I mean, thank you for just being one of my closest confidants and friends in this company. I think before coworker, I would consider you a friend. 10 years is a long time, so I hope feelings mutual. And I mean, so many memories, but the first memory I think about you is when we slaughtered a chicken in your backyard and you made a delicious stew. So I will leave it at that. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Happy 10-year anniversary, and here is to 10 years more.
Harry, congratulations, mate. 10 years, well done. What an awesome achievement. It's been so good to see you thrive in your role and grow into one of the strongest country directors that we've got in our team. Harry, 10 years, what a wonderful achievement, mate. Well done. I've really enjoyed working with you over that time. It's been great to share the journey with you. Love seeing you down in the DR a couple of years ago when you hosted the meetings. Seeing you sort of king of your kingdom down there, Don Harry kicking back by the pool, smoking a cigar and drinking rum, and just sort of thriving in the position that you've really created for yourself within Rustic, mate. And I hope that there's many more great years ahead for you, and thank you for all your hospitality over the years. You've been a wonderful host no matter where we've been, whether it's been in meetings or just personal catch-ups, but you've always opened your hotel room, your apartment, your bungalow, or your house, or your country to other people, and such a warm and hospitable person to travel with, mate. Speaks volume to your kindness and generosity as a human, and thank you for everything you've done for Rustic, and look forward to sharing the next 10 years with you. All right, cheers from down in Australia. Thanks, Harry. See you, mate.
Harry, congratulations on successfully completing your apprenticeship with Rustic Pathways. But seriously, 10 years of service is a great achievement. Well done. I've got so many awesome memories of my times with you, Harry. It's difficult to isolate just one. From getting the Harry Alvarez tour of the piano bars in New Orleans, to seeing your country operations in the DR, to four-wheel driving along the beach on Fraser Island with you. Thanks very much for all the good times. Your ethos embodies so many of the great things about Rustic Pathways. In acknowledging your achievement of 10 years with Rustic. I want to applaud the way that you've gone about building your country operations. Starting a country from zero is no easy feat, and you've done it twice in 10 years. This is definitely rarefied territory amongst the legends of Rustic Pathways. When you create a country operation from scratch, I think it becomes a very pure reflection of who the country director is. You have to build the momentum, you have to create the culture, you put your signature on almost everything from the very beginning. And your operations, Harry, are a shining example within our company and a wonderful reflection of your hard work, your integrity and your love for what you do. I think it also bears acknowledging that creating a country operation brings with it enormous challenges, and as the CD, you wear many of the scars associated with these challenges. Building and running a country can certainly sort the men out from the boys. Despite the challenges and the associated scars, you've maintained your good humour, your enthusiasm and your positivity. And these are all qualities that I really admire in you. So until we're able to celebrate together, all the very best from down under, Harry. Enjoy a quiet drink as you reflect on 10 wonderful years, and I hope there's many more to come. Cheers, mate.
Harry Alvarez, hope all is well, brother. Reaching out to say thank you for 10 awesome years that you've put into Rustic Pathways. You're the man. You are loved as a colleague and as a boss and as a father and a husband. I think you're truly kicking ass on all fronts in life, and I appreciate that. I honor that greatly. Couple fun things come to mind as I think about you in the last decade. Number one was, unfortunately we didn't truly overlap during our time in Costa Rica, but I think we both shared that similar ethos and love and magic of in the trenches with your brothers and sisters and making it happen, and super late nights and a lot of the debacles that come along with that, both fun and crazy, man. And I appreciate that we come from the same spot. And I know that you've had similar loving, amazing experiences with the likes of Ricardo and Weiner and the whole team down there. Secondly, I just want to say, you are a truly hardworking, loyal, caring gentleman of a human being, and you are clearly in it to win it. You're a great business person. You are a risk taker, and I've really appreciated the pure, we work for the same company, so the pure business strategy that you've had since I've known you. You were clearly working in Costa Rica during the early Rustic Pathways years, and you pushed and pushed and pushed to open the DR. It's obviously now one of the biggest countries where we operate. I recommend it to people all the time. I thoroughly feel that you've built a great local team there, and you're providing experiences that are local and transformational and truly Dominican. I love how you've rallied your team, and you have Team DR Dream. You've just done an awesome job in that. You're a fantastic leader. Secondly, you obviously pushed to open Cuba and said, I can handle 2 countries and I can manage the person that runs Cuba. I think you've done a fantastic job, and you've taken on those things despite what that means from a time perspective and energy intensive perspective. So you've done an awesome job, Harry. I think the last 2 things that I'll mention, one is the dolphins that never showed up. That's a great story, dude. You took a program that you're running every other week and you said, let's do it. Let's stack this program up on top of itself. We double enrolled dolphins, huge fucking financial success from a sales standpoint, and then none of the dolphins showed up. And although I was there for the happiness and the let's run double sessions and sell them and market them and bring in the money, I was not there for the downside of dealing with the parents and the fact that there were no dolphins. And so I just appreciate how much you put out and put in to things like that. You really took a risk, and you got your balls busted on that one. I'm sorry, but hopefully we've fixed it. The last thing I'll say is, as it relates to you being a loyal human being and loyal to Rustic Pathways, you know, every time I see an email from you that's like, hey Chris, you know, I know that what's gonna come after it is heartfelt and thought through. And you've helped flag a lot of the stuff going on in the culture here for all the right reasons. And please know, I am on board with you and, you know, want to make this as awesome of a place to work as exists on the planet. And it's because of people like you that we may be able to do it. So I raise my glass and salute you to another great decade. Let's fucking build what becomes the best place to work at in the entire fucking world. Harry, you're the man. I love you, brother. Thank you.
Harry, happy Rustic birthday! Wow, I cannot believe that my first Rustic experience so many years ago involved you. I think you were an instrumental part of making my connection with Rustic so long-lasting. Thank you for helping me out when I was just a wee lass as a student in the DR, and for hiring me again to work with you, for you in the DR, and for pushing me to continue on with Rustic and to be here now. I am so appreciative of you. I love to see the work that you're doing and what you do to expand our engagement, our interaction with the Latin American world. It's so cool to have a workplace that does Spanglish the way the home life does Spanglish, and you're a really good example of that. And I appreciate you. I appreciate what you've done to help me get to where I am today and to help this company so much. Yeah, happy 10 years. I hope there's 10 plus more, and that they're even better than the last.
Harry, where to begin? 10 years later, huh? Unbelievable. We go from apartments in Los Angeles to weddings in New Orleans, and thank you for showing me that place and getting me hooked on that. How can I return that favor? And then getting to see you down, being the actual Don in the DR, running the show, just sitting back and making it all happen. That changed my life, man. Whole new outlook on what you're bringing to the table. It was also fantastic being able to show you around Southeast Asia a little bit this year. We finally got you over there, and good on the company for making that happen. But otherwise, you're an absolute gem. You're a hard worker, and I couldn't be prouder to have you as a coworker. So, congrats on the 10 years.
Hey, Harry.
Cheers.
I don't remember the first moment I met you, but I remember my first CD Summit and calling some friends and talking about all my new coworkers, and you were definitely someone I highlighted and said that someone I really wanted to get to know, not just because of your dog or because you lived in New Orleans, but just because you seemed really cool. Over the past few years, I've loved talking about work with you and new ideas, mostly because you love your team as much as I do, and I think that is the most important thing about our job, and growing those people, and I trust you to be able to give me really, really good advice and have some really good ideas that I don't have. The highlight this past year for me was our CD Summit and showing up and getting one of your awesome hugs and committing to taking photos together for our first time around Southeast Asia. I still owe you those, so I promise to post them at some point in time or send them to you via email. Well, happy 10-year anniversary. I'm so lucky to work with you, and thank you for all that you do.
10 years? Wow, it's been a long ride. As a program leader in Maleku, program manager for Maleku, then become like the CD for DR. I remember like the first time we went scouting and like you were showing me your country, and I see how proud you were about DR, man. And just looking at the picture that you have on some of your social media or something about you and I hugging and forget it, man, no puedo, sigo en español. Esa foto, mae, de verlos ustedes dos cuando estuvimos en el CD Meetings. Yo creo que dice mucho de lo que usted y yo somos, que no somos compañeros de trabajo, somos hermanos. Usted siempre habla de mí, de que, he sido como un mentor, pero yo le puedo decir que ha aprendido tantas cosas y que usted es un mentor de papá para mí, de esposo, de amigo, de hijo, de ser humano. Y así como siempre he dicho que Rustic me tiene aquí por la gente, usted es una de esas razones por las que yo sigo con Rustic, y usted es de las mejores cosas que un ser humano puede tener, que es una amistad, alguien así como usted. Te quiero mucho, mi hermano. Muchas felicidades por estos años, y que sigamos. Ojalá que mandemos a los hijos de nosotros en viajes de Rustic y que sigamos visitándonos. Me encanta New Orleans, me encantó su boda. Te quiero un pichazo, mi hermano, y felicidades por estos 10 años, y que sigamos compartiendo mucho más. Un gran fuerte abrazo y nos vemos pronto, ahorita.
Harold,
Ciao.
congratulations on 10 years, buddy. I finished up Lauren's tribute video this morning at 5:30 on a plane in New Orleans, and I'm doing yours at 12:15 a.m. in Michigan. And I think it's a great example of the weird juxtaposition of our relationship between the three of us. I don't know if I just used that word correctly. I think that's the first time I've ever used it. So if it's not the correct way, screw it. It's been a long ass day and I'm tired. So we're just gonna run with it. But I started out with Rustic, obviously through Lauren, and I eventually became her work husband as you were setting up the programs in the Dominican Republic. She always talked about this guy that she was going to marry named Harry, and he sounded like a real person, but I think it took like a year or two for us to actually meet. And as that time grew, I'm pretty sure we both thought that each other were fake. And I wouldn't put it past Lauren, knowing her, that she would make up a fake significant other. But I was really happy that you turned out to be a real person, because that was going to be really strange if you were made up. So once I did meet you, I think the one thing that I've taken from our relationship the most is just the sense of community that you build around you. Any place we go, you're always inviting more and more people into your friend groups, to dinners, to going out, and most of the time it involves a lot of really good rum, which I'm a really big fan of. So thank you for that. You've always opened your doors, your friend groups, to anything for anybody that's ever come within like 400 feet of you. So I think, outside of all the mushy gushy stuff that people are going to say about you, that's what I take away the most from our relationship. I wish you nothing but the best, because you deserve it. And I can't wait to share more rum with you and shoot the shit. So with that, I'm going to go to bed. Enjoy. Congratulations on 10 years. And I appreciate the hell out of you, buddy.
Hey, Harry. On this, your 10-year anniversary of your time at Rustic, I wanted to take a few minutes to reflect on not the first work experience that we had together, but one that really stands out in my mind. And that is your first summer as the Dominican Republic country director. About halfway through the summer, I flight led into the Dominican with a group of students, my first flight lead, and landed in country, and we had this whole plan of what we were going to see, and you were going to take me to all of the programs, and I would learn about them so that I could sell them to teachers. And about 2 hours after I landed, all of those plans got thrown out the window because the departing flight was turned around. And so all of a sudden, as this first year country director, you not only had the group of students who were supposed to be in country, but you had a whole other group of students who were supposed to be at home. And you and the rest of us who were at the Quality Inn rolled up your sleeves, and we all went to the airport, and we stood at the desk for what felt like days and got every single one of those kids who had been returned to the Dominican Republic onto a new flight home, and set up with a connecting flight if they needed it, and communicated to all of the parents. And through strength of character and will, figured out a solution for every single one of those students. And the reason this really stands out to me is I think it's a perfect example of who you are as a professional and as a leader at Rustic Pathways. When you heard that the flight had been turned around, you probably had been in bed for 30 minutes after being up all day and, you know, being halfway through what's always an exhausting summer. And without any question, you were up out of bed and you got everybody else who was there at the Quality Inn up and with you at the airport. And out of a group of disconnected individuals, of flight leaders and your direct staff, you formed a coherent group to manage through a situation under your guidance and your leadership. And I see this example all the time. I think that you are so critical with yourself and with your team about what you want to accomplish. You communicate it clearly. You get people in line behind you. You create an atmosphere of wanting to achieve something incredible. And it's with your leadership that the Dominican Republic programs have grown from nothing, a dream, into one of our biggest countries. You're a constant, steady voice in reminding me and reminding so many of us that work is incredibly important and being successful is incredibly important, and it's not the only thing. And you model how to have both. You model how to have a successful, growing, achievement-oriented career and a family. You've welcomed so many of us into your home in New Orleans and into your home in the Dominican Republic. You've supported us and facilitated trainings, and you've always been there when I just want to talk through a challenge I'm having. So I want to thank you for all that you have done for me professionally, for me personally, and for our entire company, because I know so many people feel this way. So thank you and congratulations on your 10 years, Harry. I look forward to the next 10 of them.